Hey folks, it's time for another Let's Chat where I pick a topic and talk to you about that topic without any prior planning of what I'm going to say. And this time the topic I have picked is asexuality and innocence. I don't think you can talk about the idea of innocence in regard to asexuality without also talking about infantilism and giving asexual people childlike qualities. So I think I'm essentially going to be covering both. The idea is if you don't have sex, you are more pure, or more innocent, or more childlike. And although some asexual people do have sex, the general belief is that they don't, which is kind of, I think, where this comes from. And I mean, there are a couple of problems with calling asexual people innocent. And the first one is that the idea of sex, of abstaining from sex, meaning you're innocent or pure, is bullshit. Also, there's an implication with innocent as an adjective that you don't understand sex, or you're quite sheltered, you don't know the details of how people have sex, or you don't know about kinks or whatever. Again, loads of ace people are very knowledgeable on sex. In fact, a lot of the time ace people can have quite a good understanding of sex and sex education because they've had to look into it in quite a lot of detail when they're coming to terms with their orientation. And just because you don't want to partake in something doesn't mean that you can't learn about it. Side note, I really do recommend that asexual people, even if you are a bit icky about sex, you learn as much as you fucking can about sex, sexual health, what to look for, how to make sure you don't get taken advantage of. But yeah, so there's that, and then there's the idea of treating aces like children. And this is a frustrating thing because it links adulthood with sex, which is not just damaging for asexual people, it's damaging for teenagers and anyone who feels pressured to have sex before they're ready because it makes them an adult. Another thing I've noticed a lot in kind of fan circles particularly is people choosing to interpret characters as asexual because they're childlike or because they think they're quite innocent. Most of the time they don't mean any harm in this. It's kind of a, oh gosh, I couldn't imagine this character having sex, so they must be asexual. And I know as an asexual person who is very involved in fandom, it's very easy to look at innocent characters or naive characters and think they're more likely to be asexual. But asexual people can be flirty and confident and outrageous and make a lot of dirty jokes, and they don't need to be these kind of innocent flowers. I feel like I'm rambling to you, but that always happens when I do one of these Let's Chats, so what do I expect? Another thing I think's worth pointing out, mentioning, is the perception of asexual people as prim and proper, and I do also think this falls into the innocent stereotype. The idea that ace people will dress to cover themselves or won't wear revealing clothing or clothing that looks sexual. And I think the thing to remember here is clothing is just clothing. And honestly, if someone's wearing like a crop top and booty shorts, they could be doing that for a whole load of reasons. It could be that they want to look sexually attractive, and asexual people can also want to look sexually attractive because, believe it or not, it's like kind of how our social currency works, and not just people who experience sexual attraction can get swept into the desire to look desirable, but more than that, they might just be wearing it because it looks fashionable, or they think they have good legs, or it's too hot. And the innocence stereotype is just nonsense, frankly. I want to say some quick things before I go. The first is, I've been away for a while. This is because I'm graduating. I've handed in my last bits of coursework now and I'm ready to go. And I don't know what the future is going to be like for this channel because I'm heading into the world of applying for internships and so on and so forth. But I'm going to continue to update when I can. The other thing, I'm in a book. You might have already seen, I've talked about it a lot, and it's been mentioned on Hannah Witton's channel, and I kept forgetting to bring it up in videos. But check it out, I wrote the section on asexuality in Hannah Witton's sexual education book, Doing It, which I'm not just saying this because I'm in it. Genuinely, I learned a lot from this book, and considering that, like I said, I do think it's important for asexual people, even sexual repulsed ones, to know as much about sex as they can. This is a good starting point. Okay, that's all. Bye!